What is up, you guys? This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache. And this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you so much for stopping by on this lovely, cool Wednesday afternoon slash evening here on the West Coast or Pacific Standard Time, because it is Wednesday afternoon. We are back to our regular Sunday and Wednesday schedule. We try to, make sure to have two shows for you guys every week. And the last couple of weeks we didn't, right, because of the holidays, first Christmas Eve and then New Year's Eve. But we're back. This is the second show of 2026, so we're gonna get crack-a-lacking with whatever news we can find for you. Because granted, it's only 3 days between Sunday and Wednesday, which is when we do our shows. But oftentimes there's a lot of news, and even though there isn't too much news to talk about, there is still some news out there. So we go out and we scour the internet to try to find some news to bring to you guys to talk about and throw in our 2 cents on the conversation. And we absolutely intend to do that. But this is one thing I want to do for 2026. I want to remember at the beginning of the show a quick word from our sponsor. Here we go. This is Health Isol tallow-based soap. Make sure to give them a try to see if I can get the glare out of there. If you check them out, make sure to, if you find something you like, I should say, use the checkout code MADBoxing10 or the affiliate link that we're going to have at the bottom of this or in the description of this video, and get 10% off of your purchase. Want to make sure I include that at the very beginning of the show. Health Isol tallow-based products. Lavender patchouli is my favorite scent. So that being said, getting that out of the way, we are ready to talk about some news. This was a weird one, Andrew. I saw this one come across my feed. Ryan Garcia and his more shenanigans that is leading us to believe that he's really not preparing properly for Mario Barrios, which I believe will take place the 21st of February. So we're about, I don't know, 7 weeks out, if I can count correctly. Or maybe 6 weeks roughly. But everything that we've watched, everything that we've seen online from Ryan Garcia has been basically just content, right? Some sort of entertainment, him hitting pads here and there. And a recent video, or relatively recent, is him on one of his social media pages with a lie detector test, answering questions. One of them was whether or not he was bisexual. He said, yeah. Although, as you mentioned, towards the very end, he kind of snuck in a just kidding. But that doesn't mean that the guy conducting the test said, oh, telling the truth, thumbs up. He goes on to be asked about aliens. He's like, yeah, I've seen aliens. Yeah, in a sleep paralysis episode, I was looking at them looking at me. Oh my, I don't know. Something makes me think that he's not exactly there. We've talked about it a few times already, and even Bill Haney going on to social media talking about Ryan's behavior, saying, "Is he all right? Is he okay? Is he okay up there? Is he get upstairs?" I don't know. This was a very weird one. I mean, we figured this was going to happen, right? But when you saw this, I mean, what's the first thing that came to mind when you see this, Andrew?
First thing that came to mind on the bisexual question was, behind every joke is a little bit of truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an old saying that's going to bite Ryan in the ass. One, because that's what's been said, and two, the guy gives a thumbs up on the question and the answer. You see, that man was not looking for the just kidding later on, after he had already honestly answered that question. He's looking for the heartbeat when he asks and the heartbeat when he says yes or no. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was all he was looking for. So the thumb went up before he even seen just kidding. I don't care that it went back to back, Miguel. I'm fucking telling you, that guy was like, oh, good. He was good on everything. I mean, you go off this lie detector test, Ryan's either this thing was totally staged, right? It's not even a test hooked up to him, or he's one of the best liars there is, or he didn't cheat. He's seen aliens. He likes men.
Yeah, that's a weird one. And here's the thing: this test, right? I mean, it doesn't legitimately know if the truth is the truth, but it reads, your heartbeat, it reads your pulse, it reads your, I don't know, like how much you sweat and shit. So it basically looks at these kinds of things and it measures them. And when it measures a certain way, the likelihood of you lying is less or more or whatever, right? So that's how they basically calculate it. So if he's super calm and he can definitely get away with, blatantly lying, which is possible, although it takes a lot of control to do that. I'm not sure if he has that kind of that
Right.
control, but or he's telling the truth, or those things aren't even plugged in to begin with, and we're just going on whatever. It's like, yes, yes. Have you been to the sun? Yes, he's telling the truth. Oh shit, this thing's not even plugged in. So I don't know. When I heard that one, I was like, what? And I oddly, I don't believe the bisexual one. I really don't. I think it's just, again, content. It's rage bait. It's something to get people talking. Clickbait, I guess we can call it, not rage bait, clickbait, and just something to get people talking about him because he loves when people talk about him, right? Which is what we're doing here. And then the alien one, right? The alien one in the sleep paralysis. Now here's the thing. Many of us have experienced sleep paralysis, having weird ass visions, and it has happened, right? It's not like it hasn't. But I don't know if anybody has seen that specifically. We all dream weird things, so who the hell knows? Like that one in particular. I think maybe in his mind he really does believe he saw that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was just dreaming the whole fucking time. So maybe if you in your mind legitimately believe this stuff, then I think that the lie detector test will reflect that. It'll reflect they're telling the truth because you in your mind are so convinced of it. I mean, it just seems so right off the wall. But I mean, like off the page, I'm not sure what to believe anymore, regardless of what that damn test says.
And that's fine. Look, I don't believe him at all, Miguel. I think the thing was totally staged.
Mm,
Doesn't mean that bisexual one isn't going to bite him in the ass.
mm.
I'm
So,
telling you
so
that right now.
him answering that, you mean not necessarily the result of the fucking test, but him answering, yeah, that's what's gonna bite him in the ass. You mean?
Yeah, there's going to be some guys that can move a certain way around that, right?
Mm,
But either Ryan's going to have to come out and go, hey, that whole thing was fake. I was just playing. Guys can still say bullshit. You're just taking it back now, just like you did right after you answered it honestly. Motherfucker. The test.
right.
The test told us what your heart said, Ryan. That's what that test does. It shows us what your heart is saying. Motherfucker. You like, man, if I'm Barrios, I'm all over this shit. He wants to get stretched out, eh? Or have you already been stretched out? Answer that. Come on, big guy. Come on, you got the balls to come out the closet. Come all the way. Or do you stay in? Oh, I'm all in Ryan's ass. No pun
Yeah,
intended, boy.
much pun intended. We're all on his ass right now.
Hey, if I'm Barrios, I'm all over this. Might make them weep up there. No pretty girl's ever going to want you again. You got stinky dick? Really? Really? You're bringing home shitty dick to the house? The fuck out of here. And you're only a $147? You ain't even a middleweight. Nah, no girl wants that. All for money. On here on out, Ryan, you're all for money. That's what doing that bullshit gets you. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 18, Miguel, 1998. I told my wife this. 1998, bro. Do you know there ain't too many straight men that would be saying that on a podcast, on a radio station? You know, if your friend called you that in 1998, damn, there could be shoving words at least, right? About shut the fuck up, right?
Yeah, you must have crossed some lines. You must have crossed some lines, motherfucker.
Give me your girlfriend. Show me your mama, right?
Yeah.
You start bringing all these hits back. So, hold on now. Is that how comfortable we've gotten where getting stretched out is a joke?
I think not only have we gotten that comfortable, the pendulum has swung the complete opposite to where it's encouraged. At this point, it's fucking encouraged. Hell, when I was in high school, it's like I didn't even want to wear earrings. That was the cool thing. Man with earrings, right? I was like, no, I'm not gonna wear fucking earrings. And it's like, oh no, but you better put it on the right ear because if you put it on the left ear, that means you're like, what the? No, I ain't putting fucking earrings. Shit.
Then you're gonna get approached in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna get some people behind you at the urinal, stuff like that. But it's like no, but apparently we've come. I don't know. The pendulum has swung the opposite direction at this point, where it's not only applauded but encouraged. And look, it's one thing if he legitimately is that, But it's another thing when he's using it for clout. Now it's like, dude, now you're really making fun of these fucking people. Now you're totally taking it to the next level and insulting and offending the fucking people. Because for all we know, maybe he isn't that. But the fact that he's saying that, it's like, dude, really, that's where you're gonna go?
This kid used the crimes of little children as clout. He's used the Bible as clout, right? He'll go to any levels to do this shit to go viral. But this one, we got to stick him for it.
Again, much pun intended.
So whack. Ryan Garcia is so fucking whack. Take his man card. He barely had a man card, Miguel. He barely had one. Gotta pull that shit, man. He 3 pounds overweight, failing drug test, doing some fight. His fucking lie detector test is tell who, bro. The fucking drug test told us all we needed to know. The scale told us all that we needed to know. The fact that Haney came out and said you pled guilty. Why did you do a lie test?
Speaking of Haney, one Bill Haney went to his Twitter account, or X, whatever you want to call it, to I guess voice his opinion. He goes on to say, the shame of Victorville. Oh, damn. All right. Ryan Garcia still trying to convince people he didn't plead guilty to using performance enhancement drugs is beyond nasty work. It's disgusting behavior. Is he all right? Well, I mean, I don't think he is. I think he's got a lot of, yes people around him. And to this point in his career, I'm still floored that he's this big and popular and he's never held a championship, like a legitimate belt. He's gotten to where he's sold these many pay-per-views, right, with Gervonta, and then the big payday that he had with even Gervonta and Haney. And it's like, this guy has still yet to hold a legitimate belt for him to even get there. I know popularity is one thing and winning legitimate belts is another, but the fact that he got to the popularity without the winning belts, it's sort of like Jake Paul, quite frankly, is what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a social media following that kind of followed him into the boxing world, I guess, if you can say that, because he looked like a legitimate boxer, right, when he was younger, beating the guys that he was beating. And then it just took a complete left turn, and it's like, fuck belts. I'm going to try to get as popular as I possibly can to make as much money on the fights as I can. I don't give a shit about titles at this point, because that's essentially where he's going, or where he's already at, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he was popular before the Tank Davis fight, right? But the Tank Davis fight really hurt his popularity. And the chaos that was built up with the Haney fight and the way it turned out brought him back with the casuals. But he was on the borderline of being erased already. And with that loss to Roly, I guarantee you, remember when it rains, it pours? The same with popularity in boxing. I guarantee you he loses the Barrios, especially in the fashion that I see this young man losing in. He's out. He's gonna be on YouTube fighting for cupcakes, bisexual people, gay people. They all think he's fine as hell. They give a fuck about your boxing, Ryan. They want to get you in the room, boy. You done left the door open. You ever had a man try to kiss you? It's gonna happen. Better not raise your hand.
I can imagine everybody. I mean, the what's the word? The reaction that I'm sure that community had when they saw somebody like Oscar in fishnets. They're like, "We fucking knew it. We fucking knew it. He's one of us," or something. But one of those, yeah. Oh man.
Listen.
So you think the popularity going down? This is an attempt to get it back up?
It's just to go viral. I'm dicking around. What I don't like is if the lie detector test, and it's not that I don't like, what we can keep going back to is that the fucking guy answered the thumbs up. That Ryan's gonna dock him a few grand for doing that, bro. Be like, you know what, you stupid fuck. He's like, sir, I'm sorry. I thought you were coming out.
Yeah.
You gotta hit Ryan all day with this. Barrios, I'm serious. You
Yes.
gotta make
Well,
you gotta
he
make
has to
him
be careful.
fold.
Barrios has to be careful with it because you don't want him to come across like he's totally like fucking.
No, he don't. No, he don't. That fucking kid brought out his sexuality. I just want to know. I'm just curious. You brought it up. Who's the first man you fell in love with?
Oh, can you imagine if Barrio? What I was thinking is, Barrio's gonna get canceled because of his like anti-homophobic shit. I was thinking if he's gonna go in that direction. You know what I'm saying? That's something.
Yeah, don't go anti. No, there's nothing about going anti. No.
No, you don't think?
If you say who made you come out the closet? What the fuck? You're just asking another fellow.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna go.
No, hey.
He's gonna go in.
Are you a virgin? That's not homophobic. Do you pitch or catch? That's not homophobic, bro. Come on now. These are straight questions. These are great questions for a guy who just came out the closet. And we want to let the other people know the guys that might want to date you. It's like a Tinder checklist. Let's do one of those with him.
The press conferences turn into like dating shows back in the fucking 70s.
On Barrios, I do 10 minutes on it. Fuck them.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh gosh, I can imagine. Look, imagine Barrios is like, next time we're in the fucking clinch, I think twice about getting a clinch or some shit like that, right?
Then looking at his wife and telling her straight up, did you know he was in the closet? Seriously, because the guy did a thumbs up, right? You know what that means, right? Oh, dead. I'm getting under Ryan all day, all fucking day.
Is that why his wife divorced him? She found out.
There you go. Barrios, right? He's down.
Barrios, if you're listening, which I know you are, please use
10 minutes. 10 minutes is all you need to get his blood boiling. Probably be drunk by that night. Fuck out of here. It's his fault.
Yes,
it's his fault. We know he's trying to go viral. Let's make him viral. Who stretched you out? Fuck him. That's my last question.
That's a good one. Barrios, go hard. No pun intended. No pun intended. Right? No homo. Go hard.
Barrios, now we know why you're so mad at the Devin Haney P. Diddy pictures. You can go with that one. No homophobe there. Just saying now. We know where the jealousy comes from.
Mm-hmm. Just speaking facts. Just dropping facts here. You're letting the cat out the bag. That ain't our bad. Oh, man. Yeah, and then the whole alien thing. I mean, again, that probably isn't as bad as this one, but still, it's just like, oh gosh, he's really grasping at straws, just trying to go viral with anything at this point. And we're 7 weeks away from the fight at this point. I'm assuming training camp has started, but whenever I see these fucking videos, and again, I know these videos are just short clips of their lives. It's not like it's 24/7 by any stretch. But when I see stuff like this, it just makes you doubt whether or not he's taking everything seriously, and he's even putting the time in the gym.
He's not. He didn't last time. I don't give a shit. And we're not in Roly. He didn't win. So fuck that. He didn't even win against Roly. But when does it stop? I already brought up the fact that the young man brought in the crimes against children, right? We're talking Epstein case. We're talking the Vatican that he was at and watched or whatever the fuck he said. Now he's been with aliens. Now he sleeps with men too. Doesn't know which side he sits on. And I got to say, I got to stick up for Oscar one time. Well, the fishnets and the spoons and all that is weird. I never heard Oscar with the man. It's weird, but it's not like Oscar's like, oh yeah, I'm bi. Right? Whatever you want to call it, it's weird. I'm just throwing that out there that Ryan even you did something even Oscar has never done. He's weird in the bed. Got to be a porn star to want to sleep with Oscar, but he doesn't. As far as we know, he doesn't invite men into his bed. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, as far as we know, because the story is it's the fishnets and other stuff, but it was with chicks.
It's with girls all the time. Yeah, so he's just a kinky, weird fucking dude. Whatever. Just slow it down a little, temper it down. Pay him more so this shit don't hit the streets, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if even Oscar himself because supposedly the story or the rumor is, or the word is, that Ryan only has a fight or two left on his contract with Oscars. So on the way out, Oscar throw in a couple little jabs on the way out and be like, yeah, at least I was with chicks the whole time.
Hey, why not? Why not? Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you where this ends. It's going to end in a Kim Kardashian Ray J scenario. You watch, dude.
Elaborate.
If I was a porn industry, porn director, whatever, I'm going to throw some money at Ryan. See what it is to take his little bisexual ass behind the camera. Once his popularity goes down, once Barrios knock him out, apply the pressure, his dad will have nothing for him, bro. His dad's gonna be like, Ryan, fucking hit him with the legs. It's right. Knock him out, and then the offers will start coming to take off your clothes, and watch. Ryan will do it. He's done everything else.
Yeah, I mean, he already has half the fucking shirt off, right?
He has no, Miguel. See, he's talked about the kids in the Vatican. We know he was fucking lying. He talks about the Epstein shit. He says he's with fucking aliens. The guy's a what job? Oh, when his popularity goes down, he's gonna be like Kim K. She's worth $40 billion now.
Damn. Well, definitely not looking forward to that. Let's if him winning means that doesn't happen, maybe we should start rooting for him.
That's where he's ending up. He's a bum. He's a bum. He might never even be a champion, bro. That's how bad Ryan. Ryan couldn't even beat Roly clean, dude. What the fuck, you guys?
And for a vacant belt of all things,
right?
Even like Roly was a champ at the time.
I don't know, man. He might not be a champ. Barrios, you got so much pressure on you. I got so much confidence in him right now. Joe, come on. We need a game plan. You need a reach out to Bomac if you have to. The fuck? What do you see? Give me something. Yeah. Knock this kid out. Let's get rid of him in boxing. Let's send him to the Jake Paul show.
Yeah, put him on the undercard or co-main event on that. Let him take Jake Paul's place while Jake Paul's recovering. Let's do that. Let's send him over to Netflix. Yeah, go ahead and do that shit.
And I'm not being a homophobe, but the young man was just hanging out with a man that identifies as a woman, right? That's who he was punching the other day.
I don't know. I don't know who that was. I don't follow tabloids.
The big girl.
Oh no, that's a chick, isn't it? Oh shit. Or maybe it is a.
I don't think it is.
Are you serious? I have no idea. I know who she is just because she's popped up on my feed a few times.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know who she is. I thought you're a total chick.
I don't think she is, but when it's like if you look that up, I don't think it is. And now Ryan comes out the closet a week later.
Oh. Not a good
look. Drunk. I'm confused now.
Man, his mind is all over the place. Good Lord.
All over the place, bro. And I know what everyone's saying. Oh, he did this with Haney. He did this with Haney, and he did. I'll give him that. He showed up, comes in, knocks Haney down in round fucking 1. The only problem was with all the things that happened after that fight. That's what's the problem with going, oh, he's done this before. It didn't work. He got him paid, but the win got taken away. His popularity amongst diehards went down. Historically, he went down. Like, come on, man.
So could this be? So here's the thing. There's a second part to the story that isn't necessarily him per se, but rather Conor Benn. That's kind of like one of the other stories that I have on here. He's come out to call out Roly Romero, right, saying, "Hey, let's do it." But then he also calls out Ryan Garcia, says, "Hey, if Ryan wins and he beats Barrios, and that's it sounds like he's rooting for that." He says, "Cinco de Mayo weekend, T-Mobile Arena," the way he says it because he's English. T-Mobile Arena, Cinco de Mayo weekend. He's already even going as far as to say that there are concrete plans to fight Garcia Cinco de Mayo weekend should he beat Barrios. Is this I don't know, what would this be? I mean, if Barrios, if Ryan wins He gets a belt. He becomes officially a champion. And I guess that's the first guy on the checklist, on the hit list of Conor Benn, seeing him as maybe a sitting duck, seeing that this guy is not all there. I can take his ass. As long as he gets that belt, I'll be happy to take the belt off him.
Yeah, you asking me?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I believe. That's what's happening there. Conor Benn's letting it be known that there's a little tournament going on for that WBC title. Them two will face off, and he takes on the winner, which is a great plan. I mean, Conor Benn's like a piece of the puzzle we forgot about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely deserves to be in the mix. Don't mind that at all. That game plan of having that 3-man tournament right there. And Conor Benn would definitely be all over Ryan Garcia if he does get to fight him. Conor Benn, I don't think he would play any bullshit with him.
I think if Barrios doesn't do it, Conor will. Like the crap, all the shit talk from the press conference.
Just everything.
He'll lay it on him. Let me read this quick quote here that I found in the Ring magazine. It says, I know that if Ryan Garcia comes through against Barrios, from what I'm hearing, there are plans next, concrete plans. I think everybody's banking on him winning. It's an away day, like an away game for his fans, shall we say. Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, Cinco de Mayo. It sounds good to me, doesn't it? That's what he was quoted as saying. So apparently, as long as Garcia wins, we might get Garcia and Barrios. Not Barrios, sorry, Conor Benn. Now,
Barrios. Go ahead. Sorry, Miguel.
Oh, I was going to say, now this fight taking place in February, right? February, March, April, May. I guess 3 months is enough time to prepare for something like that, like Cinco de Mayo weekend. It always seems like a little too fast. Maybe 3 months should be enough. But anyway, yeah, Cinco de Mayo weekend. If we get Ryan winning, he's got Benn, or at least that's what it looks like, at least for Cinco de Mayo weekend. What were you going to say?
Yeah. And that fight is taking place when? In January 31st?
No. The Ryan and Barrios is February 21st. So late February.
No, they can't do it that fast. No,
it's like 2.5 months or something.
Yeah, but you got to promote the fight. Conor Benn, you're going to fly to the UK for Benn. That's a bigger fight than that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That has potential being bigger. I was just going to talk more shit to Ryan. Barrios. Yeah, no, it's something they should use against them, definitely, especially because his relationship with the wife is rocky. Ryan, that might be a real sensitive point with Garcia, and all you're doing is stating straight facts. Like Barrios could look straight at her, dead in her eyes, and go, "You're so pretty." You know he's sleeping with more men, right? You know that's what he's doing. How does that make you feel? You're always going to be number 2. Just make Ryan jump out the seat. You got him.
Do you guys share, man? Do you guys share, man? Is that what's going on?
You got him. What are you? What is P Diddy's girl? Cassidy? Is that her name?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know her name.
Are you the Mexican Cassidy? Make him jump out the seat, bro, and you got him, right? Mentally break his ass, right?
Yeah. And
what the fuck's he gonna do? Miguel throw more left hooks? Left hook crazy. Come on.
I was like, before this came out, we were talking about Barrios going in on Ryan about his religion, right? Be like, dude, don't be fuck this, saying like Jesus Christ willing and all this stuff that he always likes to say. But this is like even more ammo, right? Like even better ammo to fight at Ryan. Better. It is way better than that religion shit, you know? He can throw that in there anyway. Be like, bro, your own religion doesn't even want you. Shut the fuck up, you know, kind of shit like that. Man, he can go for hours. Round 1 goes to Barrios at that press conference. He's already got, it's 10-9 going into the fight at this point. Barrios already, maybe 10-8, depending on how hard Barrios goes in on Ryan. But, oh man, boy, him and his shenanigans, good Lord.
The internet won't forget. You put in, now you have 2 targets on your back. Not only do you got to worry about girls with their fake cases, sorry. Now you got to worry about boys following you into the bathroom and going, "Oh, he touched me."
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's next. That's next. We're they're gonna happen.
All I'm saying is he put 2 targets on his back, right? When you only had to worry about one, ding-a-ling. And I know that's a pretty serious one with you too, knowing all the women you're around every fucking day of your life. And now you want to go and put a second target on your back? Not the brightest move, bro.
all in with the goal of just going viral, like
No,
not giving flying fuck how he gets there.
right?
It's not looking at the consequences or the casualties or the collateral damage that's being nothing. It's just like no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go viral one way or another. I don't give a fuck who it hurts. It's going to help my popularity. I just don't want him to maybe later on say no, somebody forced me to do it or some shit or somebody like that. Take responsibility for your own shit. These things are going to have long lasting consequences. Don't try to pin it on anybody else. Fuck that shit.
Let's hope he recorded the fake test. Right? That's one way to get out of this, is to be like, when the camera stream ended, have someone live or whatever go, all right, look, everyone, he was just playing fucking poker, online poker while we were doing that. Right? The things are not even attached to anything, the
Right,
little
right.
fingertips he had on. Shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if he didn't, sorry, it was real. Fuck you. Thank you
Yeah.
again.
You're putting this information or these videos online, making us believe it's real. All right, we'll go in that direction. Now the burden is on you to prove that it's not real. If you have the fucking, the evidence. At
Right,
this
bro.
point, we're gonna take this at face value, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh my. All right. Before we move on to the next topic, do you want to throw in any other jabs at Ryan?
No, that's it, bro.
All right. Thought I'd throw in one last opportunity to have him sit down there. I don't know. Now I'm thinking of these scenarios where like Ryan, takes the knee and like does like I'm not getting back up. All right. So we go from that to what might be fake news. There's a lot of word out there that Anthony Joshua plans to retire. What the hell? All right. Now when I first read this, I thought, all right, that quite frankly, I'm not shocked at it, right? I mean, we figured we've talked about it, whenever he comes back, if he comes back, kind of thing, right? Now, from what I'm hearing, it looks like Anthony Joshua's uncle has gone as far as to say, all right, this uncle that I've never heard before says he has retired from boxing, and he told The Punch, which I think is a media outlet. Now when I first read this, I thought, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" I guess that was serious. Last week or earlier, what was it? Or earlier the week when we did the first show, was the Sunday show. I remember thinking, if he comes back, maybe he'll be physically ready, but maybe not mentally ready, thinking or emotionally ready because of the baggage. This really really heavy. I guess what's the word, like the news, right? He's still mourning, and it's going to be a while before he mourns, because we all mourn, before it comes back, I mean, because we all mourn in different ways. Now when I read this, I was like, what the hell, like, wow, really, this is that bad? I mean, I get it is pretty bad, but to make the decision now, instead of letting time pass a little bit, because you're in the moment right now, the feelings are all over the fucking place and your emotions are all over the place. So to make permanent decisions like that at this moment isn't the best idea, but his mind isn't in the right place, I'm thinking to myself. Now, Andrew, by all means, finish this up for me. You've read some stuff on your end that might put this into question.
Yeah, look, and I can't find it, but I seen earlier today that someone was taking back that announcement, and it was either Boxing Scene or Boxing Insider, because I follow both of them. So I seen it. I can't find it again. No one else is announcing it. So let's run with AJ is retiring, right? I totally agree with what you're saying about it's a little bit too early, that he makes this announcement. So maybe he is announcing his retirement. That's fine. This just happened. There's no reason for him to be going back to the ring here for a significant amount of time. Anyways, there's no reason for him to be in the ring. Put it that way. But if a few months from now he wakes up one day and all of a sudden wants to fight for his friends and makes a comeback, I'm not going to be mad about that either. Why would I? Anthony's seen both of these young men lose their lives right in front of him. They were sitting right next to him when this happened. Um, that's very traumatic. So I don't mind that he steps away. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
don't mind that in 8 months he steps back in the ring. It's whatever he wants to do. He's old enough, he has enough money, he can make all these decisions. So either way it is, if he's fighting or if he's not fighting, I'm all right with it. I'd rather him step away and find himself again, find peace again, right? Get his mind right. The last thing we want to do is have boxing as a scapegoat. He's mentally broken inside training camp, and then you put him in with some kind of animal like Tyson Fury, you know what I mean? Or even a Deontay Wilder, because even Deontay's one-dimensional right hand is still pretty damn good one-dimensional right hand. Any halfway in Anthony Joshua might be a disaster, right? So I don't want that, Anthony. Go away, find yourself, come back. If you come back, you do. If you don't, it was a hey, you did what we all wanted at the very end. That was knock out Jake Paul. That was fine, bro. That's a great way to end the career. You know what I mean? Because I mean,
Mhm.
seriously, his heydays Klitschko, anyways. All the other knockouts are great, but his legendary fight is Klitschko, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's very true. And you can I mean, for people who haven't experienced something like that, when you lose, I mean, I'm sure everyone has to some degree, but to this level, when you lose somebody close to you, when you were literally inches from them, that's super traumatic. But now multiply that by two, with two people that you've lost that are very close to you, that are just a few inches away from you during this accident here. So it's bad when you lose one person, that close to you, and then you multiply that by two. You can imagine. Go ahead.
No, go keep going. After you're
Oh,
done, throw it back to me. That's all that
okay.
means. Right?
So you can imagine that it's going to take some time for him to mourn both the loss of both of these people in his life that are we're not just figuratively speaking close to him, but literally close to him, literally right next to him, right in that truck or the Humvee or whatever it was that was in the accident. It could have been him. You know what I'm saying? Like you yourself are. You go through some sort of traumatic, life-changing, mind-changing incident like a near-death experience. It changes you. You know what I'm saying? It really does. And he experienced that on top of the fact that he lost two other people. Like I can't even imagine the kind of turmoil that his emotions are and mental stability is right now. It just looks like, I mean, I would have to assume or have to imagine that it's really off the charts. So if he does decide to step away, if it's going to take him a very, very long time to mourn, and he's like, you know what, fuck this, I don't even want to deal with that right now, or ever again, then so be it. At this point, the last thing that he did in the sport of boxing was knock out Jake Paul, which is what everybody wanted him to do, and he got $92 million in the process of it. So he doesn't have anything else to prove. He's fought the best and did what he could against what he can, whatever he was able to do against the best. And we're going to remember him very, very highly if he never comes back. But I can't even imagine the kind of the emotions that he's going through with not just having that near death experience himself, but then on top of that, losing the two other people. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
And I'm gonna top that with the strength and conditioning coach. I believe was a lifelong friend because they had pictures that seemed to go back a long ways,
Mhm.
and and Anthony looked pretty good as this young man was his strength and conditioning coach. Right? It might be one of those things where he doesn't trust anyone else. What if something's off? What if something doesn't feel right? The whole thing's off. The whole chemistry is off, right? He's got to find a new chemistry with two new members of a team. There's a lot to take over here. And then when you think about the coach, like we talked about, Miguel, he might have helped him break down a fight. He might have helped him strategize for a fight, game plan, right?
Mhm.
Where there's a lot missing in AJ's boxing life now where he doesn't want to continue. It's it. It's over. I'm done. Like I said, as long as the young man did not invest like Floyd Mayweather Jr., he should be rich.
Yeah. No, that's very true. And like the more we talk about it, the more um like more reasons that I would think that are coming up that I would think would delay him coming back. It when you lose someone from your team like that, like there's almost a sense of guilt that you're going to replace them with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
can you
Right.
imagine that? And to kind of go back to you and I, Andrew, when we lost our buddy Lee Honish, we were like, fuck. What the fuck do we do? Shit! It was just such a it disrupted so many things, and we're like, fuck. We kind of had to think about it, and we took some time to think about it and make the decision to proceed, because I mean we couldn't let it end like that, and I don't think our boy Lee would have allowed it, quite frankly. So but it still took a little bit to kind of like get over that. It's like, fuck, man, we have to really like decide whether or not we're going to proceed, and to do that. I mean, you and I even decided like, shit, so we just do it us two. Like, yeah, we can't replace them. We can't do it. You know, I'm like, no, let's just leave it. You and I, we can fucking roll with this, right? Um, I can imagine Anthony in that same situation. Like, fuck, I'm gonna have to replace my strength and conditioning coach, or maybe he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But I can imagine there's some sort of guilt there, or it makes him feel some sort of way, thinking that he's gonna bring somebody else in and take the place of a lost loved one like that. Add that to everything else that's already going on. I would have to assume that it's going to be a while before we see him back in the ring. And again, that's fine. Maybe never again, quite frankly, if that's the case. But he did what he did, and we're going to remember him fondly if he does. If he doesn't come back. But man, I can't even begin to imagine, wrap my head around the kind of feelings that he's experiencing, the emotions experiencing during this time. All right. So anyway, so we'll see if that's the case. We don't know how accurate this information was, but we'll make sure to follow up with you guys if more information comes up later on that in fact it wasn't true. Who the hell knows? Let me see here. Look at my notes right quick. Oh, okay. So this one, this is kind of, I was gonna talk about Conor here, but I had talked about him before. This one is kind of this is a weird one. So I recently was online, right, looking at news as I usually am, and I came across a post of Jaime Mungia, right? All right, Jaime Mungia, and he apparently has decided to forego a IBF, super middleweight title opportunity, the vacant IBF championship that has been vacated by Terrence Crawford since he's officially announced his retirement. We heard that Canelo Alvarez is having, or recently had, elbow surgery. I saw a clip of him doing some shadow boxing at some sort of golf course or something like that, right? Letting us know that he's feeling okay. It looked like he's doing well, so good for him there. And we heard, or we've read, that Canelo decided to forego the opportunity at the IBF championship, fighting for this, I can't pronounce his first name, Osales, Iglesias, for the vacant IBF belt, right? So, all right, it's not going to be Canelo. All right, cool. Apparently, the opportunity landed on Mungia's lap. And quite frankly, I'm going to read this article, which had me fucking rolling, honestly, because of the way they had described it. But I got this off of Boxing Scene, right? Just to kind of read this real quick. So the opportunity came, right? They called Iglesias and said, hey, how about this? We can't get Canelo. How about Mungia for the vacant belt? He responded immediately saying, fuck yeah, right? Well, Mungia's team responded equally as fast, only not as enthusiastic, according to this here. It says, according to Eye of the Tiger Management's Camille Estefan, Iglesias promoter revealed who's next. Apparently, he has other plans, according to Mungia. So this is kind of sort of half of the story here, because when I read this, I'm like, man, fuck. Look, I know that at one point, Mungia was the mandatory challenger for Johnny Beck and his WBO belt, I believe, at middleweight. He decided to skip that and goes to super middleweight for a big money fight with Canelo, and it happened. He lost, but I'm sure he got a handsome payday for that Canelo fight and avoided a monster in Johnny Beck. So, but when I read that, I'm like, man, Mungia, really, fuck. I understand why, but I would have loved to have seen that. So that didn't look all that good for Mungia, that he kind of, quote unquote, ducked Johnny Beck. And then I read this and I'm thinking the same fucking thing. I'm like, dude, what the hell? you can get yourself a belt, homie. At super middleweight, why not do it? Before I get to the second part of the story here, Andrew, when you read this, what did you think of Munguia? Like, man, what the fuck? You're trying to clean up, what happened with Suras, Bruno Suras, and the positive test, right, or whatever the hell it was, and then got the rematch. I mean, losing, then the rematch, and then clearing his name. What was your first thought when you read that he's going to not go after this IBF belt?
I don't know. I mean, it's a garbage fight for him. Doesn't he have a fight already on the table?
Yes, that's the second part of the story. That's exactly the second part of the story here.
Miguel, you're fucking with me.
No,
you know that, right?
I'm letting you. I want to get your reaction first to how it looked for him to bounce, because according to Salvador Rodriguez of ESPN Deportes, Munguia is in negotiations to fight WBA super middleweight champion Armando Resendiz, or Toro as they call him, Toro, for at some point in the first half of 2026. Now, that one, holy hell! I gotta be honest, that's a better fucking fight than Iglesias, right? I mean, not only is he not fighting for a vacant belt against somebody who is less known, but fighting a fellow Mexican fighter. I don't know when they plan to have this fight, but specifically like 1 month. It just says the first half of 2026. But man, fighting the champion, the WBA champion, who Resendiz, if that name rings a bell, beat Caleb Plant in his last fight for the interim WBA title. But now that that Crawford has retired, he has been elevated to full champion. So he is the official WBA champion at 168, and it seems as though he will be defending against Munguia. All right, an all Mexican war, huh?
It's an all Mexican war. It's got the feeling. It's got a classic type vibe on this one. The Caleb Plant fight was a great fight to come out to, and to back that up with Munguia, bro. Like, I thought of Barrera Morales when I first seen this matchup. Resendiz is a fight away from being a poster child. I guarantee you, if he wins this fight, Canelo can step back. There will be a new guy coming up in the rankings. Now, he's not undefeated. He's not any of that. But it doesn't mean he can't have a run in the sport with the right matchmaking. Munguia is going to bring him out. He just needs to show up now. But the Caleb Plant fight was a great starter. That was an awesome fight. And now we're taking on a fellow Mexican in a barn burner, man. This fight is going to be a war. I guarantee you, both men will be remembered after this night, and the winner goes on to bigger things.
Yeah, man. And we've talked about Munguia fighting some of these other guys, fighting the Shiraz, fighting Berlanga and all those other names. And at some point, Resendiz's name popped up because we were talking about everybody. We're talking about Charlo, we're talking about Plant, and as I understand it, Plant and Charlo, the 168 Charlo, are going to be fighting anyway, regardless of the fact that that Plant lost to Resendiz. But we're throwing all these names out there, right? For Munguia. It's like, yeah, let's go ahead and get this. You've already lost your bro. At this point, it doesn't matter. You're not really protecting much. Just go ahead and hop into the deep end. And then we have this. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he left Golden Boy. He's now with Top Rank, if I'm not mistaken, still. And there's where he had his loss and his comeback against Suras. So as far as I know, I believe Resendiz is with PBC, or at least last fought with PBC. So whether or not he has a long-term deal with them, I'm not entirely sure. But this is going to be the two guys, the two promoters, it appears as though, to be involved in this one here. But we talked about this one, a possible that this one would have been badass. I mean, I myself said Canelo. I said, fucking dude, Canelo, come back. If you're going to come back, Cinco de Mayo weekend or something like that, we know he's not now. But fighting somebody like Resendiz, I was like, oh, shit, that would have been badass. That would have been two dudes. But now this one, I mean, it won't be as technical, but holy hell, these guys are going to throw down, and they're gonna leave it out there. At least I know for sure Resendiz is,
Right.
Now, just to make sure, I'm not sure when you said Resendiz is like one fight away from being what'd you say, like a poster child?
Yes.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Superstar.
Oh,
Ticket
I see.
Seller.
Okay.
Ticket seller. All the girls in Mexico will know his name. They're all going to be telling their boyfriends to take him to the next fight. The guys should want to watch because I believe it will be a classic fight with a knockout ending because Mungia's already been cracked once. You got to remember he's the one that stopped Jared Hurd. Now it was a technical stoppage on a cut, but it was still a cut by a punch. And Jared Hurd's a big ass dude. Like, and he was rocking him just like Caleb. I wanted to say that too. He hurt Caleb on many occasions in their fight. I see him stopping the smaller Mungia. Mungia has already been rocked. You understand? His brain has already been, he's been dropped, and he was sort of out in that fight. You know what I mean? He was looking at the lights. That wasn't a flash knockdown. You know what I'm saying? If Resendiz has that type of super middleweight power at 16, 2, and 11, I see him dropping Mungia on that night. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's really what I was going to tell you. I was like, how do you think it's going to go? Because, I mean, Mungia was dropped against Canelo and then finished against Suras. So it's not like he hasn't been touched, right? I mean, even though prior to that, he had been hit many of times, he was never really hurt. He was never really stunned. It wasn't until he fought Canelo that he got dropped and then ultimately against Suras getting finished. But, yeah, that definitely is going to, I think, play a role in this one. Man, that was pretty sick, huh?
Bam Bam is 26. This young man's 26. Got an upside. We got some pound for pound contenders.
Oh.
Yeah, potential. There you go. Bam Bam's already on there, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, they're young. These guys are young, man. When did he lose? Matter of fact, how long has he been undefeated for? 23. He lost. Ooh, he lost by knockout? Uh-oh. I better do my homework on the Elijah Garcia fight. But Resendiz.
Yeah, but when was that though? That was a few years back, wasn't it?
23. Yeah, 23.
Okay, a couple of years back. All right.
I still would like to see what happened there, how hurt he looked.
Yeah.
Mungia
or maybe that was middleweight. Maybe he was just like cutting a lot to make middleweight, and he was weak or something.
Yeah, it doesn't even give info on that one. I'll have to look that fight up. It's at T-Mobile, so it must be on some undercard. Yeah, PVC.
What date? You know what date that is?
Oh, there you go. September 30th. 23.
September 30th. Canelo Charlo? That sounds about right. Canelo Charlo?
All right. Maybe he was already on the path to fight him that night and he lost.
Possibility.
Damn. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, that one, man. Ideally, this would be a good Vegas fight. No, like not anywhere else like Southern California or anything like that, or should it be some sort of like, Staples Center type fight, or we're talking Vegas for something like this?
No, this is a Vegas fight. No, I think the Mets can show up for this one. They used to show up for all the fights. There was never no Vegas fight with the Mexican fan base. You got LA, you got Mexicans everywhere. I'm not even going to start acting like there's only one spot they're coming from.
Well, no, but I mean they're like more heavily populated in one area than most.
But there's heavy population everywhere. They're coming from everywhere, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Shit. So, but yeah, no, I definitely see him showing up for this one.
Yeah, good point. And is this one pay-per-view worthy or not?
I want to just tell you, you are absolutely correct, bro. Alvarez Charlo is Alvarez Charlo. Still an Alvarez fight. Yeah, you got it, bro. So that's good. Very good. Good knowledge.
Thank you, sir. I try. My memory's crap, but I try to, when it comes to stuff like this, and sometimes I do that. I'll go be like, oh, was there a fight that weekend? I remember what the weekend it was. I do one of those. I do one of those Rain Man shits. Somehow it just tends to happen. But
boxing is life, Miguel. Boxing is life.
Right. And add to that, I just got my new calendar. I told you guys last week, right, or the last show of 2025, that I do like horror, right? I like horror movies a lot. So I have this like horror themed calendar that I have above my work computer on my work desk, and I write down all the fights, right, every weekend, just so I can at least remember myself, so I can go like, oh yeah, we got some fights this weekend, yada yada. And that's what I use for my year-end review. What I used on the last show. So I've already started the new one, right? Because we got some dates. We got some dates in January, which will lead us to our next story here, Andrew. One of those dates that we have in January that I already have on my calendar is January 23rd. Now, if you guys haven't heard that date yet, that is TKO's first boxing event. We are roughly a little over 2 weeks away from that card. No fight card yet. We don't know who is fighting who. We have heard that there's going to be some names on there, or at least fighters that have
Give
signed.
me one of the names, Miguel. Give me one of the names, and we'll try to look up the event on BoxRec to see if there's an undercard. Maybe
Okay.
they haven't announced it, but there's got to be an event, right? So what?
Yeah.
Who do we know the main event of that night?
No, but we know that Callum Walsh is going to be there. That Irish fighter who beat Fernando Vargas Jr.
Okay, I'm going to look him up
let's-
right now.
All right, let's see here. Because I remember reading Jose, no, how's his name? Valenzuela. God damn it. Yeah, Rayo Valenzuela. He has signed with TKO. I'm pulling up the tweet from Dan Rayfield because Dan
Yeah.
Rayfield actually said it.
Because
let me
he
see if I
does
can-
not have a scheduled fight for this month. Fernando Vargas is his last opponent. Nothing upcoming.
Oh man, okay. Let me see here because I'm pulling up. I could have sworn I took the screenshot, but I guess I might have deleted it since. But he talked about him. There's a couple of other people that he talked about in regards to signing with TKO, but right off the bat, I don't remember if he specified that they're going to be fighting on this first card. But I do remember him mentioning Dan Rayfield. I'm talking about these guys signing with TKO. Oh, and real quick on a side note here, one of our listeners, one of our loyal listeners, left a comment on one of our last videos that there's even a rumor that Bam Rodriguez has signed with TKO or is intending to sign with TKO. From what I've read, I haven't read anything beyond that. I mean, as far as confirmation, I meant to say, I haven't read anything like that or anything. But I think I even read something about Robert Garcia saying like, no, there's no truth to that. But I saw that and I was like, oh, hold up. Let me read this. Let me look into it, right? And yeah, sure enough, there's words circulating that Bam. Now we were talking about Bam last week, right? And the potential that he has right now in his career to make it to that next big money fight with Inoue. But we're like, he's not the kind of person that would sign with TKO because he's not gonna, take a fucking pay cut, quite frankly, which is gonna be. But I'm still looking for the tweet right now. I'm not sure when it was, but anyway,
What was the date of the Zuffa fight?
The 23rd.
23rd.
So it's gonna be a Friday, 23rd of January. Yeah.
All right, I'm almost there. I'm on January 17th. Please hold. But I will say, yeah, I didn't believe that Bam is signing with Zuffa because he's on the pound for pound ranking. There's nothing Zuffa can do with him, right? It's not that Bam can't fight there. There's nothing Zuffa can do for him. There's no pay scale for a pound for pound fighter. That's not even what Zuffa wants. They don't want that. They want Callum Walsh and Fernando Vargas on their thing so they could build those guys and kind of keep them groomed to the pay scale that they put them on. Because eventually, Miguel, it's going to have to be like the UFC where they give them bonuses and all these other incentives to keep the guys interested, right?
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, that money on the other side, boys, that grass looks a lot greener in the boxing world when you look at the other side.
Yeah, that's very true. You know what's funny? I don't know if you caught this, but on that Jake Paul and was it Jake Paul? No. It was the Amanda Serrano fight recently against Reina Tellez. On one of the undercard fights, a guy got like a bonus, like a fight of the night bonus, something like that, which doesn't happen too frequently. But I kind of noticed that, like, he was in the ring, and this was the card in Puerto Rico back on the 3rd, and what's her name? Trejos. I always forget her first name, but Trejos was in the ring interviewing this particular boxer and let him know right then and there that he wants some kind of performance of the night bonus kind of thing, right? And I was like, oh shit, so he does that now? I didn't know that Jake Paul and MVP do that. I didn't think they did that.
Now I gotta tell you, there's nothing on BoxRec schedule. There's nothing.
Right.
It goes from DAZN Thursday, January 22nd, Grand Rapids, Michigan. DAZN is going to be, isn't that so, DAZN too? In Grand Rapids, Michigan? What? So
Yeah.
they're fighting out there, and then on the 23rd we have one fight that has no venue. Friday, January, Sheldon Volton versus
Mhm.
Prince Martin. That fight is going on the 23rd. I'm gonna click, and then there's one on DAZN is fighting again on the 23rd. Thunder Studios in Long Beach, California. Sure, that will be sold out.
I was able to find the list of the fighters. Okay, so this was
There you go.
per Dan Rayfield, right? We have Jose Valenzuela, all right, former WBA 140-pound titleist. Then we have this name I don't know, Rozhab, but Tuev, I don't know who he is. Justin Valoria, all right. Erickson Garcia, if that name rings a bell, he did pull off an upset on one of the last cards. I think it was, I don't want to say it was Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach on the undercard of that one. I believe he got it. I could be wrong on the fight card, but that's the one after I just talked about how I fucking remember everything.
I gotta talk to my sister, but I think the Valoria kid is probably going to be related to Brian Valoria.
Yeah, right. Because that's not a very common last name,
Right.
and involved around the boxing circle. Like it would be extremely coincidental if there's another Valoria. Huh?
Guess what last name I have in my family?
Oh, which one?
Valoria.
No shit. Oh, damn. That's funny as fuck.
And they're all related.
Oh, what? No kidding.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So I believe that's him. I got to confirm it with her, but I do believe that's the young man is related to Brian Valoria. Yeah, good bloodlines over there.
Funny you mentioned that because my last name is Canelo Alvarez's mom's maiden name. Because you know how in Mexico they use two names, right? They use the hyphenated, right?
Yeah.
So if you look up Canelo, he has my last name also, but like with the hyphen. It's like Alvarez first and then Barragan at the end. So Erickson Garcia, who pulled off the upset on the last card of last year with Inoue and Picasso. That one on the undercard of that one is where he did it, and he was a lightweight 135. Let me see here. And this is a former PBC guy. I want to say he's with Top Rank now. I don't remember. Vito Mielnicki, if I can pronounce that properly. I've seen him fight before. I know who he is. I'm familiar with him. He has one loss on his record, so I know who he is. And then Misael Rodriguez, which is a 168-pound Olympian, former Olympian at least, undefeated as well, if I'm not mistaken. So those are the names, the only ones that we're familiar with. I know Erickson Garcia literally because I just saw him back on that on the undercard of the Inoue Picasso card, and then Valenzuela is basically the biggest name there, I should say.
So are you naming the stable or the fight?
I'm naming the fighters that signed with TKO.
Signed. Okay.
As of right now, I don't know if they're even going to be on that card because it says here, per sources, some Zuffa Boxing signees for its league that begins January will stream on Paramount Plus. So it's for the league, it's right for TKO, but it doesn't specify if they're going to actually be on that card. It just says that TKO's first card will be January 23rd, but anyway, so it's going to be on Paramount Plus, huh?
Big hit Paramount took today, huh?
Oh yeah, right. The rejection of the Netflix purchase, or what the fuck was it, or something like that, right? Because Netflix is
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. That's what it was. Yeah, I guess whatever that, because it was like their second offer, I think it was, right? It was something like that. This was like the second time they tried, because apparently, who was it? It's Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers saw it. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Warner Brothers is being purchased by Netflix or going to Netflix, something like that. Maybe I'm forgetting the specific networks or the specific streaming services, but Paramount was attempting to purchase Warner Brothers and sent in an offer. They didn't like it. They sent in a second offer, and that's the most recent news that I read is that Warner Brothers said no to the second offer as well.
Yeah, $108 billion they rejected.
God damn.
I don't know where Paramount's getting the money. We had looked at Paramount's net worth on the UFC purchase where they tripled the offer of Netflix. Remember that? Netflix offers the UFC like 1.5 billion or something like that. And then fucking Paramount comes in and goes, we'll give you $7 billion. Well, of course the UFC was like, all right, we'll sign with you and pop champagne bottles. You
I
look
know
up the
that.
net. Go ahead.
Oh, I know that Paramount had some sort of merger last year, sometime like middle of last year, and that helped them. Something along the lines of this was completed in August 2025. Skydance merger with Paramount Global. So yeah, there's where the deep pockets come from, right? The merger. That's what it appears, at least. I don't know shit about business, but I think that's how it works. But anyway,
we've seen the subscription go up immediately after the signing of the UFC for $7 billion. Right. What happens when you take on $108 billion?
Yeah, what does happen? I'd like to see that.
You know what Warner Brothers was like, yeah, you're promising checks you can't cash. You're writing checks you can't cash. I'm going to stick with the guys that have 330 million customers every month. Give them money. That 85 billion looks real over here. And I'm not saying that the UFC is going to get stiffed. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if these guys would have signed for 108 billion, someone's probably getting stiffed at the end of this contract.
Right.
Subscription.
And it'll end up being the lower guy on the total.
Yeah, because subscription fees definitely would have went up again twice in like a matter of months. Come on. They were, you know that contract we just signed? Yeah, next year we're gonna do another one.
It's kind of like that dude in New York who's like, yeah, we're gonna have free buses, and then the price goes up. that shit. Yeah. Kind of like that.
Oh, he talked about he asked for free World Cup, not free. He asked for discounted World Cup tickets today. Did you see that one?
Somebody asked him, like, hey, could you hook it up with some World Cup tickets? It's gonna be in New Jersey.
Hey, it's real good when they tell you got 2 minutes on the podium and you talk about the World Cup that's not even in your fucking city, huh? Hey.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, yeah, I'll hook up with tickets to go to a different state. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, he was wasting time. That's called gap filler. That's called you don't want to take any other questions, right. Miguel.
That's called if you guys ever taken a public speaking class in high school, when they tell you like just don't look at the clock because the clock is ticking, that should make you nervous. You fill that shit in, guys. You fill that shit in. Don't look at the clock. You'll have I'm expecting there's gonna be one of those 10-second guys like in boxing, like 10 seconds. Andy, let's go. All right, 10 seconds. Just wrap it up. Cool. Yeah, so about soccer. Oh my. But yeah, so Zuffa Boxing, right, or TKO, its first event. We know it's the 23rd of January. We know it's going to be at the UFC Apex, and it's going to be here in Las Vegas, of course, and it's going to be on Paramount Plus. Now, if you guys don't watch UFC at all, and aren't familiar with the UFC Apex is basically a small little arena. Quite frankly, it's where I think their performance center is here in Vegas, or Performance Institute. They started doing a lot of events there during COVID to make to keep their bubble, if you guys remember that phrase from back in the day. So it's essentially guys coming in, and they had no crowd and everything like that, right? So they still do fights there, or the UFC still put on cards, the lesser cards, of course, guys who aren't big names, and they started using it during COVID, but it would kind of make sense for them to continue to use it because, quite frankly, if there aren't big enough names, they're not going to go pay more money at some of these bigger arenas when there aren't going to be that many people to begin with. So as of right now, it doesn't appear as though there's going to be a fucking crowd there anyway. I've read everything from there being just invite only kind of thing, sort of the way it was at the Times Square event, right, with Roly and Ryan and everything. That wasn't necessarily open to the general public. It was like specific invitation. I suspect this one's going to be that. I mean, I don't know. It's not that special of a card, frankly, if they're not even announcing the fucking fighters yet. So I don't know if that's what it's going to be. But if you guys ever watch any of those UFC Apex events, it's basically a big ass ballroom. Is what it looks like. They just put a fucking cage in there, a couple of bleachers, and there ain't nobody in there. Huh.
If you aren't in Las Vegas, media member like Miguel himself here, you have no business going to this fight. If you fly in for Zuffa's first boxing match at their headquarters, you're a tool. These guys don't like you unless you're fucking working for them. They don't like media. They don't need media. So what are you showing up for?
And here's the thing. I've already heard a lot of stuff about the last time they were sort of in charge, right, for Crawford and Canelo, and them not letting in a lot of fucking people, a lot of media. They're like, no, it's being run by different people now. It's like they're not going to let people in, right? And I suspect this is going to be because that's how they do run the UFC as well. They pretty much let in the people that give them softball questions, kind of thing.
Boxing, the media members should stick together, and I'm not saying boycott, but definitely we're not putting an effort into trying to give this thing too much credit. He's not for us, so why are we batting for him?
Yeah,
you guys don't understand how the media used to be treated back in the day. It was pretty awesome, pretty fucking red carpet, dude. Whole fight week, bro. All you had to do was get there and put in your work. Believe me, they were always watching. Sure. So you try to put in your work, right? Like for us, it was our magazine that got it. It wasn't like I was out there fucking cracking reports on my laptop. It was a magazine that got us in. That's what got us our recognition. You know what I'm saying? They knew our guys are putting in money for that fucking magazine to go out every month. So they showed us love. But I've seen a lot of media. I mean, you've been a part of it. You've seen what the red carpet treatment was.
I got the tail end, so I was able to get a small taste of it.
Right.
Damn, was it awesome? Yeah.
Right. Exactly, bro. That's that helped you get there, knowing that it was possible on big fight weeks, you're going to be fed. You're going to be taken care of. There might even be entertainment involved. I went to go watch a movie that wasn't released. They wanted us to do a report on it. So we did. It was an Al Pacino movie. I forget which one. Yeah, we went to go watch it from Mandalay Bay. Yeah, it was on
like
one
of the
screening
or something.
A screening, yeah, like a Wednesday night, Friday night, yeah, shit like that. Rocky movie. I was gonna be in it. I was there in the crowd for media, but then they said he had to wait like 3 hours. Peace. I'm not gonna do it, but I was there, dude. But we could do things like that. You know what I mean? It was fucking awesome back then. You know, this shit nowadays that I hear, no media room, no fucking feed. They give you a fucking $10 gift card or some shit to go to a snack bar and eat nachos and hot dogs. Like,
yeah, it's basically a voucher for the concession stand. That's pretty much what it is. It's like it's enough to get you like a hot dog, a drink. Now, mind you, we're talking arena food, right? So it's like fucking $7 for a goddamn, hot dog or something like that, right? And $11 for a drink or something.
And networking inside the media room used to be the greatest thing. Not only were you meeting your media members from around the world, getting to see them in person, but you got to meet the fighters, like personally meet the fighters that weren't on the card. They're just hanging around in street clothes. As long as you had a good attitude, you could chop it up for them in an hour, half an hour. All of a sudden, you're just sitting there with like 2 world champions on both sides of you, just talking boxing. Like, what the fuck? That was that was awesome back then. Yeah, dude, no, fuck this new. Oh, we don't need you guys. Well, let's show them what happens when you don't have us. How about that? Go fucking print your own fucking story. There's gonna be some tools out there. These YouTube kids are fucking tools, man. They're Ryan. Little bisexual. No, I'm just kidding.
Little bitch has Ryan. That's gonna be the name from here on out, right? It's like, oh, he's just a bitch has Ryan. Just one of those fucking queen. Oh, we should call him Queen Rye instead of King Rye, right? Oh, Barrios, are you listening? Queen.
Damn, that's going in the title. I'm gonna put that in the bottom. I'm gonna put that in the bottom, dude. That's clickbait. Hey, he likes to go viral. We're gonna let him go viral. He might throw out a dude. That's catchy. I'm gonna make sure he's a fucking tool, bro. He's a tool. But hey, back to the Zuffa thing. I'm going to tell you, bro, they made this decision about keeping it at the Apex after many months of surveying the UFC fan base about this whole project. Miguel, I got to tell you, if the fucking UFC fan base was like, dude, I can't fucking wait. Dana's about to change this shit. I've always loved boxing, and had 10,000 other fucking people going, I hella like boxing too. I can't wait till Dana White saves it. I bet you, believe me, this fucking fight would have been an arena. They would have been selling tickets. They have aired this shit on UFC because I get it. I get the UFC updates. Actually, I snoozed them because I was kind of like, you guys sending way too much. But I was getting them, dude. Zuffa was on their shit all the time, especially around Terrence Crawford and the Canelo when they were promoting that. They did a lot of these fucking posts where they were talking about their TKO thing, and the what is it? The comment section wasn't that great, right? There wasn't a lot of people too happy about Dana. There wasn't a lot of MMA fans saying, "Can't wait till this comes out." No. So I think
and not even me. And I'm a fan of both, yo. I watch both all the fucking time. And as soon as I saw this, and mind you, I watch the UFC pretty religiously. I watch all sorts of MMA back in the day from the time, because I practiced it, I trained it. I have 3 amateur fights. It's not like I haven't been in and around the people, right, in the gyms and shit like that. But when I saw this, I'm like, no. And I don't mean this. I mean, like, from the time that they announced that they were going to try to get into boxing, it's like, no, don't do it. You're already fucking a lot of these fighters. I'll pay to watch these guys fight, but I know these guys get paid pennies. The last thing I want is for that to happen over here, right? At least over here, they get paid a fuck ton of money at the very least. So when I found out about this, I'm like, man, this is a terrible fucking idea. Don't do it, please. You're gonna get laughed out of the room, for Christ's sakes. And when I see it's bad enough that they're gonna make it in this, or they're gonna have the event take place at this UFC Apex, but we don't have a card yet. We don't know who the fuck is it. I mean, obviously the guys who are going to be fighting on this card already know because they've been training, obviously, right? That's kind of common sense, but we don't know it. The fact that they're keeping it this quiet on top of everything else, the new ring or whatever, and the new rules and all this other bullshit, the fact that they're keeping this in the dark so much or so long, so close up to it, we're getting the impression that there's just not a lot of buzz about it.
If I'm Turki Ali Sheik, Miguel, and I find out that the ring is some ordinary ring that he just bought or rented for this event, and there's no rule changes, and there's no glove changes, and there's nothing, no new twist that Dana himself said they were bringing. This is a Minnesota child care center. I'm sorry. That's all this is. They're just robbing you of $10 million. He gave you a whole bunch of fucking bullshit about all this thing he was going to do, and what do we get? An empty building with the ring and some unknown fighters in it, and I'm supposed to give you $10 million this year for this? Let me tell you guys something else for all you dipshits, you tools out there that do right. Oh, well, he started off with Crawford Canelo, really? Really? Really, you guys? That's what you're going to go with? Let me tell you something. How do you go from selling $40 million worth of tickets, going from having 40 million eyeballs on you on fucking Netflix, to some empty fucking arena at your headquarters? That's where you want hey, you guys just drive down to the headquarters. You mean the place we signed at? Yeah. Yeah, you're going to come back here. We got this ring in the back. Oh, man, this looks awesome. Yeah. Maybe Valenzuela can tell you how the good days were to all you youngsters in there about when he was fighting for real belts.
Yeah, can you? I mean, I can't even imagine them. I mean, the fighters already have to know if there aren't special rules, and it better not be some bullshit like this ring has 6 ropes instead of fucking 5 or whatever. Like, oh, that's it, dude? Are you fucking serious? Like,
through this shit.
Yeah, like there's some sort of mesh net or something. Like, what the fuck? No. Don't make it some fucking spectacle. But I have to assume that Valenzuela, if he's on the card, because here's the thing, like Callum Walsh is going to be like their baby. He's fought boxing. He's fought regular boxing fights, right? So it's like, how is he? Like what is going to be so different that is going to allow him? If this is their baby, like this Callum Walsh dude. And they're going to try to maybe have him be the first superstar of TKO boxing or Zuffa boxing, whatever. They can't change too much of it, right? He's a fucking boxer. He's already very well established, well trained. It's like, all right, cool. Remember all that shit about boxing? Yeah. You're gonna keep all that, but we're gonna add elbows. Like, no, fuck, no, I ain't doing this. Like yeah, like we're gonna do shoulders. Like, no, he's like fuck no. And even Valenzuela too. He's gonna be like, hold on. So they could kick me? Like, I don't know about all that. So it sounds like it's just gonna be the same shit with a Leering center. Remember how the Minnesota styles here, right? Yes. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be something stupid like that. Like, watch. It's gonna see Zuffa boxing, but there's gonna be no O, so it's gonna be like BXING. Like, oh, that's what it is. That's
You're
the
on a
difference.
great one. Hey, if we can take that sign and do Zuffa boxing missing the O, that's a great one, Miguel. That's a great call, dude. I like both of those calls, bro. Both of those are so on point because I didn't think about that either. That's a great point about the Wall Street. All these boxers, like,
yeah. The Olympian, there's a Mexican Olympian who's 168 undefeated, a Mexican fighter. I forget his name because I don't have the list up here again. But him, I mean, he go from Olympic boxing, which is very well established with the rules and everything, to be like, all right, we're gonna add this additional rule. That if you have to get up within 30 seconds if you get taken down or some shit. Like, no, hell no.
And I believe this is gonna add on to the BS that we keep getting out of Rihad. This is gonna reflect on Turki too, because I'm sorry, these guys are the ones, he allowed his face of his new company to come out and go, we're changing, this is changing, that, or possible. But with him saying that, Miguel, you got to bring something. You can't fucking sell us on this is going to be a boxing with a twist and then not have a twist. That's a terrible coming out party. That's a terrible coming. And dude, do you guys know how boring COVID fighting was? You all know it. We all watched it. It's fucking boring. Oh man, no, it's a terrible start. Oh, it's Zuffa.
It's such a bait and switch. It's such a bait and fucking switch.
Yes, like all of their stuff so far. Like all of their stuff.
Like all of what's the
pay-per-view, no pay-per-view.
Gotcha. All right,
yeah.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. We're a little over 2 weeks away. We still don't know any of that information. The only thing we know that it's going to be on Paramount Plus and that it's going to be at the UFC Apex, and that's it. So, definitely looking forward to it. And mind you, as the time gets closer, we're gonna keep bringing this shit up, yo. We're gonna keep talking about it because we still want to know who's going to be fighting on this card. We still want to know what these special rules or special ring or whatever the hell it's going to be that they're planning to do on it. Watch be some like pentagon shaped fucking ring or something. But I'm expecting some really ridiculous stuff. And the fact that they're keeping it like this secret this long is not giving me confidence that it's going to be a good twist or a good addition to the sport.
Yeah. Gosh. They should have been promoting in the arena.
Yes. Why aren't they promoting? If they're going to get eyeballs on it, why isn't there some sort of, and just as I say that, my camera goes out of focus, but why isn't there some sort of press conference leading up to this, the main event, at least, granted, it might not make people come to the arena, because if you guys have ever gone to the UFC Apex, which I haven't, I've driven around it. Again, the UFC doesn't let me into the fights yet, but it's if you buy a ticket, it's kind of pricey, yo. I mean, granted, it's kind of comfortable. It's a little couch, right? It's not even a fucking seat. There's areas where they have drinks and food and stuff, right? But it's expensive. It's like $1,000, yo. It's like a G for those fucking type of tickets. And I've seen that shit because I wanted to go. I'm like, you know what? I want to experience it because I've been to UFC fights for free as media back in the day. I've been as a fucking fan, right? For my birthday a few years back, I went to go see John Jones at T-Mobile. So I've paid for these tickets before. So I'm like, fuck it. I've never been to a UFC Apex event. I'll just buy a ticket. Dude, that shit was $1,100. Fuck no. Hell no. And for an empty ass fucking spot like that. So
what I was talking about was the biggest fight of the year that Dana supposedly put on. If he was a part of the biggest fight of the fucking year, the fight that got 40 million eyeballs on Netflix and got $40 million at the door, why wasn't he promoting inside that arena? How many fans were there? How many rich guys were sitting ringside? None of them are interested in the new Zuffa fucking get your own couch, get your own food brought to you kind of fight. What? These guys are boxing fans, I thought, Dana. That's why they're spending $20,000 to watch fucking Canelo and Crawford, right? Because they're just boxing fans and they're not doing it because of the talent in the ring. They drop 20 grand on anything, right? Not a good salesman. You had it all in front of you. You're only asking for 1,100. They should have been fucking buying 10 tickets. Things should be sold out. I'm being honest. Stop saying he sold that. You guys are fucking dipshits, man. Guy's fighting in his headquarters, bro. He took $10 million and he's putting it on in a vacant building and has
And
nothing.
the first card, which is
Yeah.
you got to come out the fucking gate with a bang, you know. And look, if you guys, the first UFC card that's going to be on Paramount Plus is basically that they're putting on Gaethje and someone I forgot right off the bat. I don't remember the fucking fights, but it's going to be a pretty badass fucking card, yo. And
And
they're
it,
and Patty Pimlet, yeah, it's gonna be bad, exactly. So that's gonna be a pretty dope card. And they're like, fuck it, this is our first card on Paramount Plus. Boom, Patty Pimlet and fucking and Jake Gaethje, and just right off the bat, boom. All right, hell yeah, a barn burner of a fight, the first card on Paramount, and they do nothing even close for their first boxing card.
do you think that guy is going to back out because of the staph infection?
He said it's an ingrown hair.
Looks like a butthole.
let's get the expert. Ryan, does that look like a butthole to you? No. But yeah, no, that looks
like
bad. That looks really
like
bad.
a pug. It looks like a pug's butt or a cat butt on his neck.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know Ryan's fucking. I don't have his experience, Mr. Garcia.
Yeah, that I don't know. And people are talking about a lot about that what looks to be a staph infection, and that looks pretty fucking serious. So, with so much on the line, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not gonna, you know, if they're gonna try to hide that shit, obviously, right? Because and look, they're trying to make Patty a fucking star. So if he goes in there and beats the shit out of Gaethje, everybody will be okay with it. So it's not like it's gonna be that bad.
Can you fight with that?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm thinking they're gonna try to hide it. Like, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's nothing. Continue to fight." You shouldn't if it's a legitimate staph infection. I mean, look, I've wrestled. I haven't had staph, but I've had ringworm, which is a bitch and a half as it is. Right? It's like you can't. As soon as you you gotta go home, wash the shit with hot water, put some Lamisil on that bitch, and call it a day. Like your ass ain't training for a hot minute. I don't know what that is, but it's definitely spreadable.
Wow.
You shouldn't be able to fucking a fight with that if it's some sort of skin infection, which you do get from the mat sometimes. So it does happen. It isn't like it doesn't happen. I think I got ringworm like maybe 3 times on my knees and my elbows and shit. So once you find out about it, boom, you're out. So staph, I assume it's the same thing because it's not just the possible passing of the infection, but it's also you get like a little fever and shit like that, right? So again, if they want, I know they want Patty to become the next star, so I don't know if they're going to stop this by any stretch because there's a lot of money riding on it, because the co-main event is a title fight, is a women's title fight, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, so yeah, so that's that. But it just seems bad that we're this close to the fight already, and they had all the eyeballs, right, for Canelo and Crawford to advertise the living piss out of this first card. They had the eyeballs. I mean, and granted, maybe they won't buy tickets to this fucking thing, but at least they'll subscribe to Paramount Plus, and that's something, right? That's significant, but not even that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Paramount could have done something to get more subscriptions on that week. That fight week, be out there in Vegas, have hella people handing out fucking little codes or whatever. Subscribe to Paramount, use Canelo versus fucking Zuffa Canelo, and that'll get you a discount or some shit. No, absolutely, bro. Do not understand how this thing got. It's gonna come out as it's a COVID thing. This is a COVID fight. There's no interest in this.
And you know what? I'm like, when I thought about when I was filling out my calendar with the January fights, I put in the UFC. What is it? I forget the number. 324. That's going to be on Paramount, right? Their first one. And I was like, oh wait, there's no the boxing card. It's going to be the night before. It's going to be the 23rd because the 24th is his first UFC of 2026. And I was like, I went to the boxing schedule on ESPN, and like it wasn't there. I mean, I didn't check any other ones, but my go-to is ESPN when I go to their website for the boxing schedule, and it wasn't there. Like, well, I guess they're. I mean, like you said, they're not really boycotting it, but kind of it's like, we're not even gonna list this motherfucker on here because we didn't know who the fuck is fighting, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
If
I'm Turki, I don't know how I feel about this. Remember, I told you I was thinking the UFC bosses couldn't be happy about Dana getting into another combat sport like this. He just signed with the UFC over again. I wonder if if Turkey knew he was going to be opening up his $10 million project in an empty building, no crowd, no buzz whatsoever. There's no buzz in the MMA world. There's no buzz in the boxing world. Kind of didn't even. The backlash on this thing in the boxing world was everything I was hoping for. Seriously, by trainers, fighters, fucking cutmen. Even the legendary cutman was like, "Nope, don't do it. Don't let him in." Stitch or whatever. Remember, he said it himself too. So I was kind of cool with that. I didn't feel any threat with that. And then their pay scale was off. But now there's no buzz in the MMA world, and you're starting off in Apex, which when I went and looked it up, there wasn't too many people happy about this starting off in the Apex thing. Called it real boring. So I wonder if Turkey knew that was going to happen, or if maybe Dana got some pushback from his company, and he's like, all right, I'll give it the least amount of effort as I can. Hopefully he fires me by year one. They'll just give it to someone. They'll fire him and put someone else in the place. You know what I mean? A real Eddie Hearn. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who's actually going to get them fights. And where's he fighting? In Grand Rapids, Michigan. You know what I mean?
Right. In Davenport, Iowa, or some shit, right? one of those kind of out there kind of things. We've talked about this before. I mean, it seems illogical, but I'm no businessman. That we kind of understand that they're playing the long game, right? And I'm talking about Zuffa and the boys, they're not coming right out the bat with some, I mean, what we're noticing, with some like off the hook fucking boxing fight that are going to get a lot of people's interest. It's like one of those Turkey investing money and saying, all right, I'm not going to get money right now, I know, but down the line, I anticipate some sort of return. Is that what it is? Like really, really starting slow and saying, yeah, it'll pick up steam, it'll grow, and then we'll make money down the line, but not yet. So we'll start small with the UFC Apex Arena, no big names, stuff like that. Like, is that the logic?
Miguel, I've said it before, they never had to start this way. So this is unknown territory for Dana White. They've always had the best MMA guys. There was no starting from scratch, right? So it's naive to think that the same UFC game plan is going to work when you're dealing with not the same quality of fighters, right? They're not even, the desire wasn't even the same. The UFC was so broke when they first gave it over to the brothers and Fertitta brothers and Dana. These guys would fight for anything. They were the best talents. They put their whole life into this shit. They weren't making any money. Guys are losing their fucking livelihoods. These two rich casino owners come and start giving them, 10 grand, 15 grand a fight. Dude, remember back in the day, you had to win the whole fucking thing to get paid. You didn't even get guaranteed money. Now they're at least giving you something. Oh, they were probably head over heels for these guys. Oh, yes, master. Yeah, 5 grand. Fuck, I'll do it. Oh my God, I just made $5,000. Come on, bro. They went from nothing to something. So that's not boxing. It's just not. You watch. Callum Walsh is undefeated now. Let that man go 25-0. He's going to be trying to find his way out of Zuffa. I'm telling you right now. Give him enough of those stupid $750,000 type. Did you see that UFC? Man, and I'm sorry, I can't recall Cuejo, Cuejo, something like that.
Cejudo. Yeah.
Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo, Olympian. Yeah, Olympian.
When the guy's a fucking veteran, bro. He's a legend. And he's over there on his hands and knees. I thought they were playing when I first seen the meme. It was like, how could you spend your whole life doing this and now you're begging your boss? And all these memes coming out. And I was like, the guy was just giving his props. I thought he was. From just seeing the picture, you think he's just giving respect. Nah, bro. Nah, go listen to audio, dude. Begging for $50,000, fucking $1,000. Are you guys watching this? This dude's scarred up. His face he's been rearranged.
And he's a legend, yo.
And he's a legend.
Division champion. That's major. You know what I'm saying? And he's an Olympic. I think he's a gold medalist. I don't remember, but he's a medalist. He got himself a medal in the Olympics in like 2008 or something. I forgot what it was. But yeah, can you imagine that? That dude, that image, man.
It was not good, bro.
No, it's not good at all. Yeah, like I can't imagine any of these boxers that have been paid hella fucking good money doing that over here. And that's why it even surprised me when I saw Valenzuela's name on there. I was like, what? You got a
I know.
you got a pretty good fucking payday. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Kellen Walsh, I kind of understand because he's on the way up. He hasn't been a
Right.
champion. It's not like he's reached that level. Valenzuela kind of has, but
And Miguel, I have no problem if they were a farming system. No problem with it, dude. Be Showbox. I'm all right. HBO. What was the young one they had? HBO. I'm forgetting the one for like the up and comers.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's not just no. It's not After Dark, right? Is After Dark?
Yeah,
Is it?
it might have been. Yeah, it
Was
could
it?
have been
Okay.
HBO. It was one of those series that had a lot more of guys coming up than superstars.
What was it like? Yeah. Because I remember it said like they called it bad, like BAD, Boxing After Dark, something like that.
Boxing After Dark. So yeah, that'll be one of that's totally fine. Don't try to get these guys into 10-year contracts, 5-year you know what I mean? Don't do none of that. Get them 3 years, build their career up, and then cut them loose to Rehab season. Let them go fight for real titles. You know what I mean? Not to knock yours down. I don't mean real titles, but like whatever you want to call it on the other side. Let them go to the other side of the fence. Yeah. If they're doing that, totally all right with it. It sounded like they wanted to make their own fight stable, though, and that means they're going to try to lock that guys down. Didn't know.
And that's the thing. Like and I want to give credit to Sean Zattel. If you guys remember Sean Zattel, everybody knows him. Right? He's the one that asked Dana White that super hard question that Dana White kind of struggled to answer right at the Canelo and Crawford presser. He talks about this a lot, and he has since kind of like gotten like a step back from it because he's like, I'm really getting involved into a lot of shit, and I'm not focusing on the fights. I'm focusing on other stuff that have to do with us, which we talk about as well, right? So anyway, point is, he mentioned like the way TKO talk about their amendment to the Ali Act and stuff like that. It's an or thing. It's not an and thing. So you can't fight with us and still have the protection of the Ali Act. It's like no. It's this version of the Ali Act. So it's like for them to allow guys to kind of do both, to like say, all right, we'll be a theater promotion, we'll give you guys some time, and then you guys can go off and make money. Like, fuck no. They will. I suspect they will try to lock them down for these stupid ass 10-year deals, like that kind of shit, because to them it's either or. You can't do both, bro. It's one of those kind of things. And that question hasn't really been answered yet, but if you listen to the TKO guys talk about it, it sounds like that. It sounds very much either or, bro. We're not going to be building you up and then send you off to make money elsewhere. Like, no, your ass is tied down here. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. It's kind of what it seems like in the UFC. A lot of those superstars, man, they don't go on to other MMA things. It's either they fight for him or they stay retired.
And it didn't used to be that way, because back when the UFC started to lock down some of these guys, there were UFC champions who went to Japan and fought. You know what I'm saying? They did fight over there. Unfortunately, they would lose. Sometimes they come back and they still be the UFC champion because they didn't lose in the UFC, kind of stupid shit, right? But they would still fucking lose because there aren't sanctioning bodies in MMA. So anyway, but like stuff like that, right? It's like they would be able to go over there and do that. And sometimes even WWE does that shit, like, hey, you'll go to Japan. I mean, there was a point where they did, and then they stopped doing it because they had competition and they didn't want to do it. So I highly doubt that's something that TKO will do. But if you hear them talk, it sounds like they're trying to lock these dudes down for like ever. So, all right. I think we got through all of our stories. Andrew, was there anything else that you wanted to add to this before we call it a show?
No, sir. That was a good one.
All right. Fantastic. Well, that pretty much does it. We will be back with you guys on Sunday. Let me take a quick look at my calendar here. Oh yeah, Subriel Matias. He's going to be fighting. Let me see. We're at Dalton Smith, so we're going to be checking that out. But it is on pay-per-view, so I'm sure it's going to be cheap as shit if you guys want to pay for it, by all means. But by all means, check them out because there's some sort of boxing this weekend, right? But that is going to do it for us today. We will see you guys on Sunday. For my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache. I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace.